Looks like the police. Yeah, it's the police coming here. Ottawa police coming down. I think it's them. So you can see there's no one here, right? Completely empty here. Like 2 people up there. Police driving up here now. And I'm just walking down to the stop down the street there. So they've just turned from up there and they're coming towards down here towards me. They passed the lights, it looks like there. That's the car there, I think, just ahead of the bus there. Police car. I wonder whether they're just going to wait at the bus stop. They might. It looks like them, though, at the bus stop. Yeah, there's another bus coming now. So they're positioned there in front of the bus. As you can see, I think it's the police. I think it's them. Although, let's see. I could be off. I could be wrong on that. It is a distance. It looked like a police car, though. We'll see. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, police car here. Okay. So it's meant to be timed so they turn right here in front of me. So this is Ottawa police here. Just in front of the bus there. 7526 Ottawa police showing up. You can see there's no reason for them to be here other than to stalk because there's no one around here at all. So 7256, and that's first thing in the morning. Ottawa police showing up to harass, stalk, and intimidate with no one else around, and obviously they're not doing anything productive, just stalking me again as usual. So got them on camera there. Let's see here.
In the following footage, I have just arrived at the transit terminal near where I work in Ottawa. Watch how the OC Transpo Special Constables drive up with precise timing just as I step outside. They are obviously tracking my movements and monitoring me on the CCTV cameras because, as my extensive documentation shows, the psychopaths working in these positions have been doing these exact same things since I moved to Gatineau in the summer of 2022. Driving up in front of me at the exact moment I leave work, or at the precise times when I arrive or exit transit terminals, with a consistency that defies any plausible deniability. If I take an alternate route to leave work, or to exit the transit terminal on my way to work, these deranged psychopaths will often be instructed to wait for me and then follow, being instructed to openly break Canadian laws against criminal harassment and stalking. While the OC Transpo Constables monitor and track my movements to criminally stalk and harass me, they simultaneously completely ignore the drug addicts often infesting their terminals who they seem to permit to freely and openly use hard drugs. They also regularly sit in their cars, staring at their phones and doing nothing, while people are freely trespassing and damaging the property at transit stations. Their jobs basically consist of lying incessantly, ripping off the public, writing false reports to slander honest people, and stalking and harassing law-abiding citizens, while enabling the open use of narcotics.
Special constables exit here. I'll just show you that there. Pulling into park and do nothing, I guess. Just as I get here, special constables pulling up. Stalking hard as I get here, and then wow, here. I had them waiting, obviously. See if they're going to get out of it. They're just going to sit there and do nothing. Probably just a lot of times they'll go over the park corner there so that you can't see. So they just sit in their cars and stare at their phones. One here. Steroids. Constable Stalker Robertson there pulling up. This fake steroid in the body there. E225310, and the other one there, here we go, almost done there. This one is, let's see, here. He's gonna pull in there and sit and do nothing too. Yeah, that was Steroid Robertson there, the guy that walked by. I guess they already have another car here. Maybe it's, or maybe he got out of this one, I don't know. But, Constable Steroid Stalker Robertson. Scowling hatefully too as I walk by. This is a fake steroid injected body like many of them have, because you're not going to get those results naturally from actually working out. It's like unnatural on their half. So they have to use, just like everything else they do with deceit, lying, criminality, deceit, lying, manipulation. So even they can't even do like a workout with honesty or get real results. They have to take all these steroids that Freemasons get that the rest of the public don't have access to. So that was steroid stalker Robertson there, and the other constable here is just going to sit in his car staring at a cell phone, as you can see. That's just what he's doing here, staring at his cell phone. Yeah, you'll notice how Steroid Robertson scowled at me hatefully as I walked by too. He knows I put pictures of him online with his stalking too, so he doesn't like that. They got pictures of him all around the station here too, trying to make him look like some hero when he just does literally nothing other than stalk people and lie and deceive. There's another video of him online actually from someone else where they're taking this woman off, pretending to take this woman off the train who was, who they sent on to put on an act to pretend to cause a disturbance so that these people could look like they were doing work. And she's got like one pant leg rolled up. And the reason for that is because when Freemasons go through the initial initiation, there's a part of that initiation is you have to roll one of the pant legs up. So it's just so they'd recognize that. So she had like one pant leg rolled up. But that's a Masonic thing as well. Constable Steroid Robertson himself. Where can I find some steroids tonight? Don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. And his buddy's just sitting there staring at the phone too, huh? Yeah, you'll notice they pulled up the moment I got here too. Look at this doofus driving the car, like looking around, pretending that he's here naturally. So Steroid Robertson went up, walked around, did nothing, came back out. Here's car number 2 now. They're going to go over to the corner there to sit there and do nothing. And then car number 2 is going to pull in and also do nothing here, since they already arrived. Or is it going to turn that way? No, that one's going to turn that way, okay. So you'll see that was precise timing as soon as I came down. Constable Stalker, Steroid Robertson showing up with his fake steroid injected body and a miserable scowl on his face too. I don't know why he's so miserable. They're paying him like $130,000 a year to do absolutely nothing. So you'd think he'd be smiling, but he's not. You saw the other constable there just sitting there staring, watching movies on his phone too, while Constable Stalker Steroid Robertson went up and pretended to look around the place. Yeah, there's another video of Steroid Robertson online where they've sent this paid provocateur onto a train, and they're doing the act where they pretend to remove her to make it look like they're doing work, because it's so bad they have to set up skits to deceive people into making people think these people actually do work. So Steroid Robertson and this woman, this other female constable, the woman's pretending to cause, a disturbance. The usual thing, they send them on to do it, they pay them to do it, just so it'll make it look like these psychopaths are doing work. And the woman who they're pretending to remove has her pant leg rolled up, and that's all part of to let people know that the whole thing was fake, because Freemasons in the earlier initiations, there's a part of the initiation where you have to roll one of your pant legs up, and then put a blindfold on. So it's all part of that. Okay, I'm gonna exit now. We saw Constable Steroid Robertson there. There's a picture of him up here too. I'll show you as we go out. police concern, looks like. Yeah, it's the police position across the street, just gonna say, yeah. There's all ice, we gotta be careful. Yeah, it's police. There's an exit. Police parked across the street as I exit here. I think, yeah, it is though. Let's wait here. As soon as I step out, they're parked right across the street there. I had to go to the back to drop some stuff in the recycling bin, and they're parked across the street there, the police. Let's see when they turn out here. It's a car number. Let's see what we can. This act here. It's not so long they're there for. First of all, the light takes forever to change here. So they're parked out there. I had to go to the back to drop some stuff in the recycling bin. And they had them positioned right across from the house as soon as I exit the police there. What's the number there? 14. Car number 14. Okay. 14. Let's see, I got no police there. As I So I got a car parked there waiting tonight. So to get to that area there, if you're driving, right, it's a lot quicker just across the street here than it is to drive over to there from here. To drive over to there, you'd have to either go up around here, around that way, or go all the way around and drive through there, right? So if you're picking somebody up, that would be where you do it, the passenger pickup there. Just to establish that this is just somebody who's been sent to park here. But, you know, occasionally they'll send someone in just to make it look like, just to lend plausible deniability. I think they'll have somebody go over and get into these vehicles, but really they're just sent to park there, because if you're picking somebody up here, you'd have a way faster time to just drive all the way around so that you're right there when they come out, right? That's what you'd do. You wouldn't park on a street where, you know, it's like a dead-end street way on the opposite side. This is all the police there. Just to get here. Police as I get here. So back this way around here. Police following me as I get the seat down here. Back this way around here. Police following me as I get proceed down here and turn back and do another U-turn here. So police and guide out tonight as I left across from the house, and police stalking me in Ottawa today as I proceed onward to work here.
In the following clip, you will see a CSIS and Ottawa police-connected provocateur, possibly another inmate who has been given early release for agreeing to participate in their organized harassment and stalking operation, who has been sent onto public transit to follow me as I travel to my workplace. As soon as I board the bus, the stalker begins continually scowling at me with a hateful look on his face, making the same contrived coughing noises that are regularly used as a sensitization method as part of the neuro-linguistic programming aspect of the psychological harassment utilized by CSIS in their criminal harassment campaigns. They subject the person who they are harassing to a continued barrage of the same recurring things which are meant to seem trivial and inconsequential to those who are not taking part in the harassment. However, since the victim has been continually subjected to this same sensitization method over and over again everywhere they go in a manner which is done specifically so that they will know it is not random, but rather very purposeful, the sensitization method, which in some cases can be as simple as people making contrived coughing noises at the moment you arrive or at the moment you walk by, is meant to trigger a negative response because the subject has been sensitized to it and knows that those being sent to stalk them are specifically told to do it. The viewer may also recall how I showed in my recent documentation a scenario where a CSIS provocateur who had been sent to linger in the area and wait for me to exit the station before being prompted to approach me to try to provoke a reaction had immediately started making those exact same contrived coughing noises with precise timing just as I exited the station. When I noticed this CSIS provocateur continually glaring at me while making those same fake coughing/wheezing noises, I repositioned myself from the area where I was seated and moved to sit directly behind him. Just so that he was aware that I knew exactly why he had been sent, I also did a few contrived coughing noises just to try to goad him into an angry reaction. Since mimicry is a commonly used tactic in the program, I will occasionally mimic the fake coughing noises of the provocateurs just to see how they will react. In this case, since the provocateur knew I was aware of why he was there, he abruptly got up and went to sit at the back of the bus just after I sat down behind him, thus confirming that he was only there because I was on the bus and he had been told to keep me within his frame of vision the entire time. Otherwise, why would he have even cared where I sat down, and why would he even be paying any attention to me when I mimicked the fake coughing noises he had been making? After reaching the obvious conclusion that this CSIS stalker, possibly also connected as a police informant drug runner, had been sent to make me aware that he had been sent to follow me on public transit and that he was likely going to attempt to follow me to my destination, I made the decision to get off the bus and wait at the stop for the next one. Shortly after I got off, I attached my body camera so that the stalker would see he was being recorded. He then opened the window and started mumbling at me saying, "You got a problem?" hoping to provoke some type of argument, angry reaction, or a confrontation. If he had not been sent to follow me and to attempt to provoke, this individual wouldn't have been paying any attention to me at all, nor would he have even cared that I had gotten off the bus. Yet, the viewer will note, just after I get off, his attention again is turned directly toward me, and he opens the window and continues saying things to try to provoke an angry reaction, making it obvious what his purpose was. Since they had most likely sent this provocateur to follow me directly to my destination, and they were not expecting me to get off early, his handler again sends him a message to open the window and try to attempt to provoke an argument or a confrontation. It is important to note that I did not say anything at all directly to this provocateur, as his purpose was to try to provoke a response. some looking around like that. Keep your face covered up too. Your fucking face covered up. Think so, yeah, okay. Try to start a fight, yeah, huh? Okay. Don't worry about it, you fucking scumbag. The problem is you're a stalker, that's what the problem is. Yeah, as soon as I get on, he's making these wheezing noises. If they send that guy again, I'll just get off, I don't care. I don't think I've seen him before, but yeah, I don't care about these people at all. I just call them as, when I record them, I'll call them what I call them, and that's that. But I'm not getting into any arguments with them or any exchanges with them. So it's not to fucking follow me and do these sensitization noises and things like that, and then to try and provoke fights. I don't get into any of arguments or fights with these fools. Just record them, that's all, and call them what they are from a distance. I don't need to interact with them. So let's just get the next one here. Yeah, you'll notice too when I got on there. So he looks at me. I get on. I didn't have the music up too loud when I got on. I usually have it up louder. So I get on. He starts going the fake coughing thing and looks right over at me. And so so when the bus slowed down a bit, I sat right behind him just to make him feel uncomfortable because I know why he was there, right? So then he abruptly gets up and goes and sits at the back. And then, but this is a show he's putting on there, where he's like, "What's your problem?" And he's looking at the window, because he wasn't expecting me to get off. He'd been told to follow me to where I was going. So, so then I get off, and I just looked right at him and pointed. I put on the body camera just so he'd see it too, and then pointed to the body camera when I got off. And he's staring at the window the whole time at me. Now, if you weren't doing anything like that, you wouldn't even be concerned with me. Why would you even be concerned with where I was getting off? There's something else going to be said. Yeah, another stalker here too. Let's wait that back. Yeah. But why would you even be concerned with where I was getting off if you weren't doing, part of that? I mean, you wouldn't even pay any attention to it. But he saw when I got off, and then he starts looking over because he saw I put on the body camera so that he'd see it. And just before I got off, I put it on, clipped it on, and then actually I'm going to take it off now because I want to save the battery. But and then he starts looking out the window directly at me. Now, why would you pay any attention to me at all? He doesn't even know supposedly he doesn't even know who I am or anything like that. And then he opens the window and says, "What's your problem?" I didn't say anything. I just had the camera pointed right at him, and I pointed directly toward the body cam so he could see it. That's all. Just let him know he's being recorded. But his goal again is to cause some altercation or cause a confrontation. And I don't get into confrontations with these really stupid people who they send. I just record them, and that's all. I don't care usually 9 times out of 10 if they're doing that, but that caught me, just the way he looked right at me as he did it, to let me know it was intentional, to try and get a reaction. So what I did was, I went right up behind him and sat right behind him, just to make him feel as awkward as possible, and to let him know I'm aware of what he's there. And then they'll send that guy back, guaranteed too, guaranteed, and I'll just get off. If he's on there, I'll just get off, I don't care. But they'll send the U-turn up here. Yeah, he's just a provocateur, that guy. So, but what I did was, so as soon as he starts doing that, so I get on, and he's across there on the right. There's not many people on there. And he starts right away, he's going, and then he's looking directly at me with and that's this fake cough sensitization that they've been doing everywhere I go for like 5 years, right when they're around you, and it's meant to sound contrived just so you'll know it. So with the neuro-linguistic programming that they have with that routine, it's meant to evoke a negative reaction. 9 times out of 10 it doesn't, but tonight it just irritated me because he's looking right at me too while doing it. And so I just looked at him and scowled and then waited, and then as the bus slowed down I went right, purposely went right and sat behind him just to make him feel uncomfortable and to let him know that I was aware of it without saying anything. He then gets up, as you could see, knowing what he was involved in. He then gets up again and then goes to the back and sits at the back, right? So, and then he resumes his fake coughing. So I get up and get off at this stop here, just to get away, because the guy's just there as a provocateur, and I can just get the next bus anyway. So I get up, you'll notice they start to stop here to stand over here too. As soon as he went, there was nobody here, and that's a CSIS person there as well, standing by the stop over there. There's no one else anywhere here, as you can see. And the guy there with the hood, he appeared just maybe minutes after I got off here to stand here as well, so we'll just let him do his act. But yeah, that guy there. So then basically he goes to the back then, right? So, and this was only a matter of minutes that this occurred. So I just got up and said, okay, I'm gonna get off here. I'm just gonna get off before I can just jump on the next bus anyway and transfer over. They're relatively frequent, so. But you're gonna see they're gonna send that guy again, because they're gonna put him in a video. So you'll see they'll send him again, and when they do, I'll just get off. He's trying to provoke a confrontation. They send people to try to do that, and then you see he opens the window and says, because I was looking at him as I got off, and I just pointed directly toward the body camera that I clipped on, and then pointed at it, and then looked at him without saying anything, just so he'd know. And then he starts the act that he's being, starts the whole act that I'm trying to cause a problem with him. I didn't exchange a single word with that guy, not a single word, as you can see. So he's just a provocateur who's there to try and cause a problem, cause an altercation, and CSIS will send him again, and I'll just get off when they do. I don't care if they send him again. That's fine. But his purpose there is just to cause an altercation and to try to blame it on me. And all I'm trying to do is just go to work. This is the crap you deal with this stuff consistently. So. This footage is from the morning after that CSIS stalker was sent to try to provoke a reaction on the bus. Here you will see an example of the neuro-linguistic programming aspect of these psychological harassment campaigns run by CSIS. And you'll notice that just as that stalker was doing on the bus, as he started doing just as I got on, here you will see right at the precise moment, just as I walk by, this contractor again starts making those fake coughing noises right as I get there with precise timing. Now the viewer has to take into account that this has been going on for 5 years everywhere I go, with people all around me who are told to do this to let you know that it's specific and purposeful. And so that's part of the neuro-linguistic programming, but it's also done that way for gaslighting techniques, so they can just dismiss it and say, it's something that people do every day. But if you watch enough of the footage and see how regularly they do this right when they're near you, you can tell that it's purposeful and that they're told to do it, and that it's a sensitization that is meant to evoke a negative reaction, because the subject of the harassment knows it's being done on purpose. But to everyone else around, it just seems like someone coughing, right? And so that's done specifically so that if you react negatively to it in any way, they can start saying, you're crazy, people cough all the time. And of course, it's true, people cough all the time. But you have to look at how this is used as part of a sensitization in the program and see how constantly it's used to sensitize people to it, to understand how they utilize it, and how it is part of the gaslighting operation. So here you'll see another prime example. Literally right when I get to this guy, he starts immediately making these fake coughing, wheezing noises, exactly the same as what that guy was doing the previous night, and exactly the same as that individual who I showed near the beginning of the video from that other video, right as I was exiting the station, another guy who might have been an inmate who received early release to participate in the stalking routine. Of course, they had him waiting for me on that other occasion that I showed, and right away, he's doing the fake coughing right as I arrived. So you'll notice again, this guy here immediately starts his fake coughing routine right as I pass. And then after, he doesn't have to cough anymore. It's just the contrived cough. So that's part of the sensitization. And they want you to know that these people who they send all around you are told to do this. So you'll see another example of the neurolinguistic programming routine here.
Yeah, right there, same notes. The time's right as I got back there, same thing there as last night. Yeah, right there, same notes. The time's right as I got back there, same thing there as last night. We'll keep that footage. You can tell right as I got there, he starts doing the contractor that starts doing the coughing. I'll just get his face. Let's take a look at his face. No more? Okay. I just wanted to see his face. Okay, got him there. Yeah, that guy, as soon as I get there, you can see he starts going. No, the coughs. No more coughing. He stops. Notice? He doesn't have to cough anymore now that I've passed. It's funny, isn't it? Funny how that works. But the guy last night, same routine. Imagine being told to do that, though. Imagine what that must be like when somebody tells you, okay, when this guy walks up, go start making wheezing, coughing noises. Imagine being so dumb that you don't question doing something like that. Like, really? Oh, sure, I'll do that. Okay. Like seriously, who wouldn't question doing something like that? You gotta be like, really, like, is there anything else they can dictate for you to tell you to do? Really? Do you have like any free will at all? The fake jogging thing is an act. Oh, there's police up there as I come back here. Police turning just in front of where I'm going to be crossing to. So they're waiting down there, down the street there, for me to come back from the store. It's the police there in front of the house the other night when I exited too. I couldn't see the car number there, but they're back to their stalking. The Gatineau police there, and they're waiting over there. What else are they going to be doing, right? There's nothing to do. There's no crime here. So they have to fabricate fake events to make it look like they're doing work and stalk people. So what it really is with the police in Canada, it's an extortion racket because they don't do anything legitimate. Like, it's all, literally all lies and deceit. You wouldn't even have real crime if these people weren't enabling it. And that's no exaggeration. So they have to have the crime, otherwise their job becomes irrelevant, right? They're not needed. So they have to deceitfully manufacture these fake events to make it look like they're doing things. And it really is that bad. They're that corrupt. You wouldn't even have crimes. They're sending people to do the half of these things that you see. And the stuff in the news is mostly 90% fake anyway with these crimes they report on. 95% fake. So all they do is just terrorize and stalk people on behalf of the elites. And deceive, lie, write false reports. It's their job as Freemasons, and that's why they want them in those positions.
It is important to note that every time I record the harassment, stalking, and provocation activities of the provocateurs that CSIS and the RCMP constantly send to harass me, usually CSIS, will intentionally send the same provocateur who I captured footage of and uploaded to the internet back to continue to stalk and provoke again. This is done to attempt to threaten and intimidate the subject of the harassment out of documenting these activities and exposing the criminals who they use to partake in these operations. because people who act to illegally terrorize and criminally harass law-abiding citizens have no other option than to attempt to continue to try to bully their victims out of exposing these acts. This is what CSIS Director Dan Rogers is. He's a criminal, a bully, and a deceitful coward. I am noting here that I have never seen this individual who they sent this past week before in my life. He does not regularly ride the bus from that area, as that is the area where I get the bus to work 5 nights a week. Never before have I previously seen him. Yet, now that I have uploaded the footage of his Provocation act, CSIS will more than likely start sending this criminal to stalk on a more regular basis. When they do these things to harass me as I simply try to travel to work, it must be noted that I typically do everything possible to avoid these drug addicts and criminals who they are sending. I will very often get off the bus and wait for another one, or try to take an alternate route, if one of the known CSIS provocateurs is being sent to follow me or to attempt to provoke. Despite my constant efforts to avoid these creeps who they send, CSIS will ensure that these same stalkers who I have exposed in my video documentation will be sent back again and again, following me continually and showing up at all different locations where I am. This proves that they are openly and knowingly breaking Canadian laws against stalking and criminal harassment. As such, it seems very likely that CSIS will now start to send this criminal to stalk me more regularly. When, or if they do, I will try to ensure that I capture footage of the stalker. Then I will upload evidence that I am doing everything possible to avoid these criminals who they are sending. I will also upload images of the criminals and drug runners who are being sent, next to images of the people running the organizations responsible for sending them to do these things. CSIS and the Masonic Brotherhood of Ottawa Police continue to send criminals, drug dealers, and paid provocateurs to continually stalk me and attempt to provoke reactions everywhere I go. They send these people to stalk me as I attempt to travel to work, and they ensure that they are all trained in all of the Masonic diversion techniques regarding always attempting to invert the situation to blame the person who they are harassing. They are trained specifically in gaslighting techniques which must be utilized in these operations, since the drug trafficking Masonic police and CSIS cannot do anything via a legitimate means, nor will they in any way respect the laws of the country which, prior to the implementation of the communitarian system of community policing, held to a system of due process. Since CSIS, the RCMP, and the Ottawa Police are criminal organizations that facilitate the distribution of narcotics and work with large networks of paid informants who are given extra financial benefits, as well as, in some cases, free housing and accommodation in exchange for participating in criminal activities such as stalking and harassing truth speakers and whistleblowers. They cannot do anything via a legitimate means. Instead, they must fabricate documents and concoct false narratives to slander the people who they are harassing in this manner. The corrupt drug trafficking Freemasons in the Ottawa Police and Canada's illegitimate Masonic-controlled fraudulent judicial system have been offering violent criminals, drug dealers and gang members early release from prison if they agree to become community-based spies and informants. Many of these same violent criminals and people involved in the drug trade are the ones utilized by CSIS and the RCMP to stalk, harass, and terrorize law-abiding Canadian citizens for Orwellian thought crimes, or for having the tenacity to speak out openly about Masonic police corruption. Under Canada's Crown-controlled communitarian system of Masonic despotism, criminal Freemasons such as Dan Rogers, the director of CSIS, operate with impunity to freely break Canadian laws, trample on the democratic process, and terrorize honest, hard-working Canadian citizens who have had the tenacity to speak out about corruption within government or public service positions, or to question the integrity of our drug-trafficking Masonic police forces, which operate as organized crime syndicates and extortion rackets. Most of the people who have been inserted into prominent positions within all of the institutions that the public are supposed to trust in Canada's despotic communitarian system of Masonic control are from families who have been on the payroll as community-based spies for many years. Thus, these people have been raised since early childhood to have a lack of empathy and to be willing to do anything that the state asks of them without hesitation. Imagine a society where literally all of the people who the public are supposed to trust actively take part in deceiving, breaking the laws of the country, and working in a cohesive manner to destabilize the foundations of a system that had maintained order and civility. Freemasonry's order out of chaos agenda, and the process of breaking down the system of rule of law, so that their so-called phoenix can rise out of the ashes of that old system and bring in Lucifer's new age of so-called enlightenment, can be seen in full bloom here, as Masons who have been inserted into all important positions throughout Canada work to actively deceive in unison, so as to push the country toward a system of lawlessness through their deceitful methods of endlessly staging fake terror events and manufacturing staged media events using community-based agents. This is done to attempt to deceive those who are not a part of this Masonic system of corruption into agreeing to relinquish their rights and accepting more and more surveillance, so that literally everything they do is monitored, and so that Freemason police officers carrying automatic rifles are positioned everywhere one goes. This system of mass surveillance and Masonic police tyranny would not be able to take shape were it not for all of the criminals, deceivers and liars who have been recruited to actively take part in the staged mass media events that are necessary to attempt to deceive people into accepting the removal of their freedoms.